Hi, this is Michael King. We're now going to look at how to use Excel to find the payments on a loan as well as to build an amortization schedule, which is basically showing how your loan is paid down over time, payment by payment. Okay, so I've set up my Excel sheet with a few inputs already. Let's take a look at this loan. Consider a 3-year loan of $10,000 paying a 5% annual interest rate. Calculate the payments and show the amortization schedule. Okay, so if you were making regular payments to pay off a $10,000 loan, it's going to be very similar to an annuity. We're also going to use the built-in function that's available within Excel. Let's put in the rate, 5%. Notice that it's an annual interest rate, so we do not have to convert this from a quoted rate to an effective rate. Number of periods, it's going to be 3 periods or 3 payments. The loan value is $10,000. And the future value is going to be how much of the loan is outstanding at the end of 3 years. We have to pay off the complete loan, so the value is 0. The type, almost always in finance, we're going to be dealing with end of period payments, and so the type is going to be 0. Okay. Now, to find the value of the payment, I happen to know that it is PMT, which is payment, calculates the payment for a loan. Okay, if I was to pull this up, you would see that this payment function has the following syntax. You can see that it has the same different inputs. Remember that once you know 4 of these inputs, you can always solve for the 5th. So payment is going to be the interest rate, the number of periods or payments, the value of the loan today, the future value, and the type, which is end of period payments. Hit enter, and you can see that the payment is going to be $3,672. I had already put in the annuity formula here showing that payment. You can see that it is indeed $3,672. Okay. So that tells us how much the payment is, but you may want to build an amortization table showing you how much of each payment is actually interest and how much is principal. So here we have our amortization schedule over 3 periods with the beginning amount, the end amount, the fixed payment, which is an annuity, plus the interest portion and the principal repayment. So we're going to make the original amount of the loan $10,000. And we know that the payment is always going to be $3,672. So we're going to reference that cell. I'm going to use absolute cell referencing, which is putting dollar signs before the row and the column. If you hit F4, it will add those automatically. Okay. Now you may be wondering how much of this is going to be interest and how much is principal. Well, to figure out the interest, it's going to be the rate of interest. And I'm going to also make that absolute cell referencing, multiplied times the beginning balance of the loan. Okay. As you can see here, it is $500. If I wanted it to be an outflow or negative, I would have to put a minus sign in front of my cell reference. Okay. That tells me how much of this $3,672 is actually repayment of the principal. Well, we simply have to take the total payment and subtract the amount that goes into the interest payment to find out what goes into principal. And then summing up the beginning balance with this amount of principal that's paid off, we see that at the end of the first year, $6,800 is remaining. This becomes your amount at the start of the second year. So we're going to reference that. Okay. So now we've referenced each of these. If I've done it correctly, I should be able to simply drag this down. As you can see, the payment, I'm going to double click on the payment to see, yes, it's referring to cell B8. You can see that as I click on this cell, it's always going to be the rate of interest in cell B3 multiplied by the beginning balance. And you can see that the principal repayment is simply the difference between these two. Now I have to drag this one down again. I should be able to drag all 3 actually. So I'm simply going to highlight all 3. I was holding down the shift and the right arrow as I did that. and I drag it down one more column. If you've done this correctly, you will see that at the end, your principal outstanding will be in fact $0, and this is your amortization schedule.